Of all the fights you've had 50, who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out.
Castillo got robbed.
There is no question regarding Max Kellerman's position. Well known for having a keen analytical mind, he provided more than just a fresh perspective. By directly questioning one of the most well-known names in the sport, he may have just sparked a controversy that split fans and made them reevaluate their preconceived notions about the game and its greats.
Then Sugar Ray Robinson, how many wins he got? I said he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for a minute. He said, but who got more championship titles? Me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. I said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man. He didn't fail. He said, oh man, you fake. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest.
In his quest to destroy Floyd Mayweather's legacy, he has been outspoken and brutally honest. He is expressing his belief that a new, unbeaten king has emerged.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, then I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. Cotto, all-time great? No. Cotto's all-time Puerto Rican great. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age. My point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best two names you can pull up? I'm just saying, Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal.
Whispers were the beginning of it all. The type that consistently follow a legend, such as Floyd Mayweather. His remarks have a great deal of weight, and his shadow still hangs over the sport even after he retired.
Floyd provided everyone unrealistic expectations. You could win every fight, basically never get hit, and make all the money. it's not going to work like that for the most part for everybody, you know? Like, it literally only went that way for one guy.
I love Floyd, but it seems like everybody's afraid to have that O, to have a 1 or 2 where the O used to be. Ali lost. Sugar Ray lost. Hagler lost. Hearns lost. These guys lost. When did the O become the end-all be-all?
I think Mayweather, you know, and how he made it big to the public.
Mm-hmm.
Like 47 and tried, 47 have failed, and then it got all the way to 50, and it's like, you know,
break Marciano's record.
Now retired, unblemished. Andre Ward, unblemished. You know, Joe
Calzaghe,
unblemished. You know, and it's like, when people look at him, they be like, man, that dude never lost before. You know, people can't say that. You know, a lot of people can't.
Mayweather's team started to make noise when debates over Terence "Bud" Crawford, the current pound-for-pound king, reached a fever level, seemingly raising doubts about the best dog of the contemporary period. This was a succession of well-considered remarks meant to remind everyone who was still sitting on the throne, rather than a formal challenge. However, what was once a standard technique straight out of the Mayweather playbook suddenly set off a chain reaction. A man who has studied Floyd's whole career, Max Kellerman, heard the call and answered with an intensity that nobody had anticipated.
Floyd was fighting everyone right up until the point where he started to make money. But as much credit as you get for making, the primacy of business, for making business your priority, well, that comes with trade-offs. Because when you make business decisions constantly, sometimes your athletic achievements won't be regarded in the same way as if you made athletic achievements your priority. That said, Mayweather has accomplished a tremendous amount athletically. But the three fighters he didn't fight, Antonio Margarito, Manny Pacquiao, when he was obliterating De La Hoya, Hatton, and Cotto, and Shane Mosley when he still had something left. And while he will wind up fighting Pacquiao and Mosley, it'll both be, at the right time for Floyd. That said, what about at the right time for Floyd? He's also ancient. A fighter approaching 40, fighting at the level Mayweather is fighting, is unheard of. Mayweather, until recent times, would be considered one of the greatest older fighters that would be the whole story. Oh my God, can you believe how old Mayweather is? It's a little bit unfair to Floyd to say, well, you're picking these guys at the right time. Floyd is old.
Fans weren't accustomed to this calibrated historical perspective. It was unvarnished and raw, and it had the potential to completely upend the boxing community. Kellerman's forthright response to the Mayweather-Crawford analogy was the first bombshell. Rather than honoring Floyd's impeccable record, he dropped the gauntlet with a comment that left everyone speechless. He maintained that Terence Crawford has already left a more powerful and captivating history than Mayweather because of his unwavering pursuit of the hardest obstacles. Two entirely different ideas were depicted by Kellerman. He characterized Mayweather as a superb strategist both inside and outside of the ring, especially when he left the lightweight class. A fighter with a meticulous resume who picked and chose which men to face and frequently waited until they were past their best.
The Pacquiao you're describing, who knocked out Ricky Hatton, who YouTubed Ricky Hatton, turned YouTube into a verb, what he did to Ricky Hatton, and then destroyed Cotto, and before that, and then just the way he beat De La Hoya, even before that,
Well, De La Hoya was old, though.
Sure, but Mayweather fought those guys basically at the same point in their career that Pacquiao did before them. Okay. And the reason that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was hyped up to the extent that it was is that, boy, Mayweather's this all-time great, and Pacquiao is doing these guys even worse than Floyd is doing them. Everyone wanted to see that fight. That Pacquiao's been gone for a long time. So why don't fighters retire when they should?
He didn't merely hint at it. He stated it clearly. However, his tone changed to one of utter reverence as he turned to face Crawford. He described Bud as a throwback warrior who deliberately sought out danger and always craved tobacco.
I put 5. That's right.
Wow. That's cheating.
I love it.
That is cheating.
That's a heel turn.
You the boss.
That is heel.
That's a heel turn.
I love it. You got 5.
Now here's the thing.
Wow.
Roy at his peak. Just remember this. If Roy would have retired after the Ruiz fight, he would have replaced Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time.
I agree.
Right? But he didn't, and the rest of that stuff is in there, right? So I get it. But Roy at his peak, I think, had a higher peak than anyone on this list.
I agree.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao, we've all said it a million times. I think he is, outside of Sugar Ray Robinson, I have Manny Pacquiao second greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Floyd Mayweather never lost. And did he cherry pick when and where? Yes. But guys, from 130, 135, he cleaned out 135. He beat the best guy at 130, beat the best guy at 135. Yes, did he pick and choose at 140, 47, and 54? Yeah, but he won all those fights.
That's right.
And he beat a lot of good fighters. And more than that, put Floyd at his best with anyone through history, you do not know who wins. Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, it's true. Floyd is one of the top 10 greatest pound-for-pound fighters who ever lived. Tough to argue otherwise. But pound for pound, he can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter,
He's rapping again.
Junior middle.
He's rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody.
Mayweather, no disrespect at all to him. He's one of my favorite fighters growing up. Love watching him fight. Perhaps the greatest boxing business person of all time. Yeah. Look at actual boxers in the business. But I don't want to see many fighters come out of retirement. He's done everything he can do. He's one of the best fighters of all time. Stay retired.
As indisputable evidence, he cited Crawford's thumping of Errol Spence Jr. and his brilliant triumph over Canelo Alvarez. That readiness to confront anyone at any time wasn't simply praiseworthy in Kellerman's opinion. That was what brilliance was all about. And he asserted that Mayweather's subsequent career lacked it. Kellerman was only warming up, but that would have been sufficient to spark a battle.
Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Because he's the promoter also.
Well, I guess. I mean, also it's Floyd Mayweather. Like, what's the referee going to do? Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That wasn't the back of the head. And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insane.
However, you must realize that this is not the first time Kellerman has gone all in against Floyd Mayweather in order to fully appreciate the drama underlying this argument. One of the most notorious prophecies in contemporary boxing history has connected their careers for years. Kellerman is still plagued by this professional ghost today. The loudest and most reputable voice anticipating Mayweather's impending demise was Kellerman, long before the famous super bout with Manny Pacquiao. He notoriously and frequently asserted that Floyd's renowned defensive technique was on the verge of collapsing, stating that aging and wear and strain will eventually catch up with him and cause his impeccable record to break apart.
Who would your top 5 be?
Sugar Ray Robinson.
Number 1?
Yeah, and then pound for pound. See, Pacquiao he started as a flyweight champ. Not just he started his career there. He was the champion at flyweight and then moved up. There's so many divisions between flyweight and junior middleweight where he also won a belt. Even the fact that he could compete with Floyd Mayweather, who's a naturally bigger guy and one of the greatest pure boxers. Pacquiao's overall body of work, you could have him second pound for pound behind Sugar Ray Robinson.
How come I'm watching highlights of him knocking people out though, as little as he is, man?
That dude, it's the calves, man. He's got those fast twitchies and those big calves jump in on you and generate a lot of power. Crazy hand speed and power from a southpaw. Really awkward, hard to beat, lightning fast. Pacquiao was all that.
He wasn't merely forecasting defeat. He was predicting a total breakdown. That collapse, of course, never materialized. After Mayweather overcame Pacquiao and ended his career undefeated, boxing fans began to make fun of Kellerman's audacious forecast as a continual reminder of his alleged prejudice against Money Mayweather. This background gives today's discussion a crucial dimension that compels everyone to consider whether his current effort to elevate Crawford's legacy is a straightforward, objective analysis, or if it is the last move in a chess game spanning 10 years. A calculated attempt to win an old argument retroactively by redefining greatness itself. The community was still in shock at Kellerman's hit on Crawford when he expanded his attack to target boxing's most revered cow, Floyd Mayweather's record, pound for pound. Kellerman expressed his deepest disapproval of a recent ESPN ranking that put Mayweather at the top of the list for this century. He said Floyd couldn't even be ranked higher than Manny Pacquiao on a pound-for-pound basis. He maintained that Mayweather's well-planned career just couldn't compare to Pacquiao's historic transformation from flyweight champion to welterweight behemoth, destroying several categories and never flinching.
Pacquiao wasn't able to make flyweight. He was a flyweight who won the lineal championship. So if that's not the most, or one of the 2 or 3 most impressive things in the history of boxing, the fact that he could move up, give me an example of another flyweight who was the lineal champion, moved up, won a bunch of titles in between, and then was that good as a welterweight. Pacquiao won lineal titles, indisputable, that's the man who beat the man, or else putting belts together. No one had ever done it before, ever. No one ever did that. No one ever came close to dreaming about doing that, and then Pacquiao did it. So the fact that Pacquiao is even competitive with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest pure boxers ever, do any of us believe that if they were the same size naturally, Floyd would beat Pacquiao? You really?
And you are right. Yeah. But he did beat Pacquiao, and nobody has changed the game like Floyd Money Mayweather.
He mastered the art of knowing when to fight somebody and when not to fight somebody. I mean, that he's the best in that game. He's the best in, you know, making money and making all the, you know, the huge fights happen. But why? Because he was timing every single one of them. He never fought nobody really in their prime. He always
after junior lightweight. Junior lightweight, he did.
He changed the game in the worst way possible. You're right. Everybody's trying to protect their own. I had to break that, right, with Tank. Like, that's one of my idols. Like, I really look up to Pacquiao. Like, people don't know, but like, he's one of the people I look at. I'm like, man, like, this guy is everything I would want to be, you know, as a career, as a fighter, because he did everything, like, you know, with such grace, and he did, you know, put up spectacular fights. He helped out his community. I'm trying to do things similar like that, but me, I'm more of I want to give back to, you know, like the younger generation. I want to help them with like anxiety.
ありがとうございました。スーパー選手ですね。スーパースターとマニパッキ選手。
In a sea of decline, Kellerman wasn't by himself. Ryan Garcia, a current boxing sensation, publicly supported his assertion that he has always thought Pacquiao is better than Mayweather.